Hey everybody, welcome back. We are going to do a deep dive today. And this is something I think we can all relate to. It's the power of influence, and we all have it, especially at work. And we've got some super interesting stuff to look at today. Some internal company communications and even some safety training materials. It's like we're getting a sneak peek behind the curtain.
Yeah, it's kind of like we get to see how the company thinks about these things. Not just what they say, but what they're really focused on, the kind of culture they want to build.
Absolutely. And I think a lot of times, we don't realize how much influence we actually have on the people around us. So that's what I'm excited to explore today.
Yeah.
There's this Toolbox talk coming up called What Kind of Influence Are You?
Okay.
And it's actually going to be covered over a couple of weeks, so they're serious about it. But what's really interesting to me is that it's not just about being positive.
Right.
It's about understanding both the positive and the negative sides of influence.
Yeah, that's smart because not all influence is good influence. And when it comes to safety, a negative influence can really mess things up. What I think is really interesting here is they're saying that influence is powerful, and they're actually trying to help people use it the right way.
Yeah, I like that. Take ownership of your influence.
Yeah.
Okay, before we get too deep into the Toolbox talk, though, I did want to mention something awesome from this email.
Okay.
The Mountain Region just won this award from the Colorado Contractors Association for their safety record.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So congrats to the Mountain Region, everybody.
That's awesome. That's a perfect example of how when everybody works together, it makes a big difference. A good safety culture doesn't just happen on its own.
Right.
It takes everybody making good choices every single day.
Exactly. Everyone's doing their part to keep things safe. And speaking of which, the Toolbox talk brings up something kind of funny.
Okay.
It says that we actually spend a ton of time with our coworkers, sometimes even more than our families.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So obviously that means our coworkers have a big influence on us, right? For better or worse.
Yeah. That makes me think. It's true, we're at work a lot, but is it really the same as our families? Do you think the Toolbox talk will explain the different ways people can influence us at work?
That's a great point. It would be interesting to see if they talk about the difference between like a close coworker versus a supervisor.
Yeah.
Or even just like the general vibe of the whole workplace.
Yeah, exactly. Because even within those groups, there are different types of people. Like you could have that coworker who's always positive and gung-ho about safety, and their attitude kind of rubs off on you.
For sure.
But then you might have another person who's always taking shortcuts and complaining about the rules, and that can bring everyone down.
Totally. And the Toolbox talk seems to be saying that even if you can't always control the rules or the people around you, what you can control is how you react.
Exactly. And that's all about mindset. It's not just doing the right thing because you have to. It's about understanding why the rules exist and really wanting to be safe.
It's about owning your part and keeping everyone safe. And then there's the flip side. What happens when negativity takes over?
Yeah.
The materials talk about how that can really snowball. It can create a culture where people just don't care about safety as much.
And that can be really dangerous.
Yeah.
When people see their coworkers breaking the rules or complaining all the time, they start to think it's okay.
It sets a bad example.
Yeah.
But hey, speaking of good examples, the email also shouts out the drivers of the month for January. Congrats to Chris Clausen, Anthony Jaramillo, Mike Olvera, Art Ortiz, and Jared Cannon. You guys rock.
Awesome.
They all had amazing driving habits, and they each get a $25 gift card. Not bad.
I love that they're recognizing these drivers.
Right.
It's not just about rewarding them. It's about showing everybody that good driving matters. These guys are leading by example.
Totally.
And hopefully it'll inspire everyone to be more careful on the road. It really makes you think. When you see people getting recognized for being safe, it shows that the company actually cares about it.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's not just about avoiding accidents. It's about looking out for each other.
Yeah, that's important. Feeling like everyone's responsible for keeping each other safe. It's not just following the rules. It's more than that.
It's about being proactive.
Right.
So we've been talking about how individuals can influence each other.
Right.
But what about the company as a whole? How do their actions and their policies affect the safety culture?
Oh, that's a great question. It's like they set the tone for everything, right?
Uh-huh.
They make the rules, provide training and resources, set the expectations.
Exactly. And if they don't make safety a priority from the top down, then it doesn't really matter what individuals do.
Yeah, it's like trying to build a house on a bad foundation.
Right.
You need that strong leadership and clear communication to make people really care about safety.
So how can you tell if a company is serious about safety? What are some signs to look for?
Well, one thing I always look at is how they handle accidents. Do they really investigate to find out what went wrong and then fix it? Or do they just try to blame someone and sweep it under the rug?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
A company that cares about safety will see accidents as a chance to learn and get better.
Exactly. And they'll be proactive. They'll try to find and fix hazards before they even cause an accident.
Right.
They'll invest in training, encourage people to report near misses, and make it okay for people to speak up when they see something risky.
So it sounds like creating a safe work environment takes a lot of effort from everyone,
Yeah.
individual supervisors and the whole company.
It really does. It's like all these different pieces have to come together to make it work.
Yeah,
And it's not a one-time thing. It's something you have to keep working on all the time.
that's true. It's about always trying to get better. So as we wrap up this part of our deep dive into influence, I think the big takeaway is that we all have a responsibility to make our workplaces safer.
Absolutely. It doesn't matter what your job is, you can influence the people around you. And when it comes to safety, that can literally save lives.
So think about what kind of influence you want to have. Do you want to make things better?
Do you want to inspire people to care about safety and create a workplace where everyone feels valued and protected?
The choice is yours.
Yeah.
But just remember, you have the power to make a difference.
And that power, used the right way, can have a ripple effect that goes way beyond just you.
It's pretty amazing when you think about how all these different things work together.
Yeah.
We talked about individual influence, the role of supervisors, and even the company's responsibility. But how does all this actually play out in real life?
That's where it gets really interesting. It's about taking these ideas and putting them into action. You know, you can make a difference just by being safe yourself, even when nobody's watching.
Right, it's like walking the walk, showing people that you take safety seriously, not just talking about it.
Exactly. And it's more than just what you do yourself. You can actually encourage a culture of safety. Like if you see something unsafe, you can say something. Or give your coworkers helpful feedback. Or get involved in safety programs.
It's like we're all in this together. Everyone has a part to play in keeping things safe.
For sure. And it doesn't have to be some big grand gesture. Sometimes it's the little things that matter, like reminding someone to wear their safety glasses or offering to help with a task that could be dangerous.
Yeah, those small things can really add up over time. So as we wrap up this deep dive into influence at work, I want you to remember one thing. You have more influence than you think.
And how you use that influence can really shape the safety culture of your workplace. So be mindful, be proactive, and be a force for good.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everyone. We hope you found it helpful and inspiring. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe.
Bye.